William Wordsworth is called the poet of nature. Why is he called poet of nature? Because he has written most of his poems on nature. Here in this poem, it is about the fidelity of a dog shown to its owner. The plant which has this kind of leaves is called as fern. And now at distance can discern. He can make the distinguish. He can make out from where the noise, the sound is coming. Hello everyone, this is Shobita S. Aradhya, Lecturer, Department of English, Vidhyaashram First Grade College, MYSURU, the Temple of Excellence. A warm welcome to you all for today's session. And what are we discussing today? Today we are discussing a poem called Fidelity. And this fidelity is about a dog's fidelity, means the dog's loyalty towards his owner. And this poem is written by William Wordsworth. Let us see what this poem has and what all we'll be discussing in today's session. So, as I said, Fidelity is by William Wordsworth and this is about a dog. Okay, dog's loyalty towards the owner. What all will be discussed in this session? We'll be discussing the poet. We'll know about the poet. Who is William Wordsworth? Why is he called the poet of nature? So all those we'll discuss, and we'll see the title. Why the poet has given the title Fidelity, and the theme of the poem. What theme is there in this poem, that will be saying, and also we'll go through the poem and we'll discuss some of the question answers and we'll conclude. Okay, this is what we'll be doing in today's session. To know about the poet is William Wordsworth. You must have heard his name, you must have read his poems in your schools and in your +2 classes. So, William Wordsworth is called the poet of nature. Why is he called poet of nature? Because he has written most of his poems on nature. Always his poems are about nature. So, he is called as the poet of nature by Shelley. Okay, Shelley, one of the famous writers in English, and he himself, William Wordsworth, he himself called him as a worshipper of nature. So he calls himself, I am a worshipper of nature, because he admires nature to that extent. He held a firm faith that nature could enlighten the kind-heartedness and universal brotherhood of human being. Why the poet is called the poet of nature here? Because he had a firm faith that only nature could enlighten the kind-heartedness and universal brotherhood. Kind-heartedness and universal brotherhood of human being. So, which can enlighten? Only nature can enlighten what? The kind-heartedness and universal brotherhood. Universal brotherhood means here believing that each and every human being as own family member. Okay, so he believed that nature could bring this in human beings, and only existing in harmony with nature where man could get true happiness. So he believed that if human beings exist in harmony with the nature, he can attain the true happiness. Okay, only those humans who will have harmony with nature can attain true happiness. This was the faith which William Wordsworth had. This poem is from the collection Rainy Day. So, this Fidelity poem which we will be studying today is from the collection of William Wordsworth called Rainy Day. So, this is his collection of poems. From that we have picked the poem Fidelity for you. Title and theme. Why is the title Fidelity? The incident depicts the enduring affection that dogs display which surpasses that of human beings. Dogs are known for their affection and their loyalty. Correct? So, dogs are known for their loyalty towards its owner. So, here in this poem, it is about the fidelity of a dog shown to its owner. So, how it shows, that we'll see when we are reading the poem. So, they display great affection, they display their loyalty, and also which makes human beings think once that good in loyalty as the dogs do. Okay. Then the theme. The last lines of the poem beautifully describes the love and devotion of the pet dog and sums up the entire poem, Fidelity. So, above all human estimate. So, in the last line, we'll get to know that what devotion, what affection the dogs have towards the owner, towards the human being who looked after that dog is shown here. So, it is beautifully described in the poem, and that line, last line, beautifully describes the loyalty of the dog towards the owner. Okay. So, that is the theme. The theme is the devotion of a dog towards the owner. Okay. So, this is the title and the theme of Fidelity. Next, we'll go through the lines of the poem Fidelity. So, this is about a dog. Okay. Again, fidelity means loyalty of a dog towards his owner. Let me read the lines of the poem here. A barking sound the shepherd hears, a cry as of a dog or fox. He halts and searches with his eyes among the scattered rocks, and now at distance can discern a stirring in a brake of fern. And instantly a dog is seen glancing through that covert green. Okay. So, here you can see that all these lines, they tell about the nature, because this is written by the poet of nature, William Wordsworth. In the William Wordsworth poems, you can see all the lines depicting nature. A barking sound the shepherd hears. Who hears a barking sound? A shepherd who was grazing his sheep there. He hears a sound, barking sound of a dog. A cry as of a dog or fox. So, he was not sure whether it is a dog or a fox. So, a cry as of a dog or fox. He could not make out whether it is a dog or a fox, but he heard barking, a cry of an animal which is similar to dog or fox. He halts. Who halts? The shepherd halts and searches with his eyes. So, here the shepherd who was grazing his sheep, he halts, he stops there and he looks around, searches with his eyes. Searches with his eyes means here looking all around, searching everywhere. He looks for the sound from where it was coming. He halts and searches with his eyes. Among the scattered rocks, where all did he search for the sound which he was hearing? He searched in the scattered rocks. So, the rocks were scattered, spread everywhere. He searched all over the rocks and now at distance can discern. Here the next line, and now at distance can discern, means from distance. Discern means here distinguish, make the difference. So, and now at a distance can discern a stirring in a brake of fern. So, what is fern? Fern means the leaf, the sharp leaves. This kind of leaves, the plants which has this kind of leaves is called as fern. And now at distance can discern. He can make the distinguish. He can make out from where the noise, the sound is coming. And where a stirring in a brake of fern. Somewhere there was gap, there was no fern. That is a bushy plant. So there somewhere there were no fern, no such plants. There was a break and there he found, and instantly a dog is seen. What did he see there? In the break of the fern, in the gap of the fern, he saw a dog, and instantly means at quick, very soon he got the vision of a dog glancing through that covert green. So what was the dog doing there? Glancing means the shepherd, he saw that the dog was searching for someone, glancing through that covert green. Covert means hidden, means he had hid himself. The dog had hid himself in between the green. Okay. So shepherd hears a sound of barking, he could not make out what it is, either a dog or a fox, but he halts and searches everywhere. He puts an eye on every corner, every edge he could see, and among the scattered rocks, where the rocks were scattered, he searches there, and at a distance he could distinguish, he could find, he could see that there was a break, means where there were no fern, there were no plants, bushy plants. There he could see a dog, and what the dog was doing, glancing through that covert green. So the dog was searching for someone, and that was seen by the shepherd here. Covert green means hidden. Okay, so covert means being inside, not opening up. Okay, that is called as covert. Next stanza, the dog is not of mountain breed. So now the shepherd is able to make out that the dog is not a mountain breed. Though it was on the mountain, that do not belong to the breed of dogs which live in the mountains. Its motions too are wild and shy. So how its motions are, the walking and the way it looks, all those. So the motions of the dog were wild and shy. So it seems that it was not the dog which was breeded by somebody, or it was not a breeded dog. It was like a wild dog, and it was shy. It was hiding itself. It did not came running to anybody there. So it was feeling shy. It was trying to keep itself hidden somewhere. With something, as the shepherd thinks, unusual in its cry. So shepherd thinks that its cry is unusual. How the dogs bark, it was not in that way. The cry, the sound which the dog made was unusual, which was different from the usual barking of a dog. So with something, as the shepherd thinks, unusual in its cry, nor is there anyone in sight. So he is able to see a dog which seems to be a wild one, and which is shy, and that did not belong to the mountain breed, and its sound, its cry was not the usual one. So he also finds that there is no one around it. There is nobody who is taking care of that. That a dog is all alone in that place. How did this dog come here, and why is this alone, was the question with the shepherd. So nor is there anyone in sight. He could not see anybody for a long sight. He searched everywhere. He did not find anybody there. All around, in hollow or on height. Means where all did the shepherd search? He searched in the hollow. So wherever his eyes could reach, he searched there. It was not in the hollow, not in the height. In the broad and length of the mountain, he did not find anybody else. Nor shout, nor whistle strikes his ear. So usually dogs are called by some shouts, some names, or some signals are given, or sometimes whistle. Most of the time dogs are called with a whistle. So he did not hear nor shout, nor whistle strikes his ear. He did not hear anybody calling for the dog. What is the creature doing here? Now the question with the shepherd is, there is nobody with the dog. Dog is all alone. It is shy. It is looking wild, and its cry is unusual, as if it is asking for some help. And what is this creature doing here? What is this dog doing here in the mountain is the question to the shepherd now. So what happens? What kind of dog was it? Why was it crying like that? And whom was the dog searching? Why did it cry for the help? All those, and what shepherd does, all those will be discussing in the next session. That's all for today's session. Remaining stanzas we'll discuss in the next session. Until then, take care, bye-bye, and thank you.